Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the MMA Breakdown Podcast for February 10th, 2014. We're going to be talking about UFC 170, and I'm about to break it down for you right now. So you got Ronda Rousey 8-0. 0% by knockout, 100% by submission, 0% by decision, and you got Sara McMann, which is 7-0, 29 by knockout, 29 by submission, and 43% by decision. It is crazy that Ronda Rousey is winning all her fights by armbar. There's no other fighter I have ever met has won all their fights by the same submission hold. Do you think the wrestler is out going to do the judo player? They're both Olympic caliber athletes. Who do you think is a better fighter and why? It's a very close match. They're almost evenly matched. So is the wrestler actually going to outdo the judo player? Because she has Olympic caliber wrestling, why Ronda Rousey has Olympic caliber judo. And we've seen what Ronda Rousey is capable of doing in the clinch. She basically grabs women, throws them to the ground, goes right to the armbar, and is Sara McMann's wrestling going to be able to outdo and basically be able to stop the takedown? That's all you need, is somebody to press the hell out of Ronda Rousey, because Ronda Rousey is the type of woman who pressures the action and whoops ass. It's the same thing when George St. Pierre pressures the action, he wins all of his fights. So it's going to be an Olympic wrestler versus an Olympic caliber judo player. And I think it's going to be a very tough fight. And I think the only way I see it, if Ronda Rousey gets Sara to the ground, she has a chance to win because she's a very good judo player. And she's very good with getting her armbar very quickly and stopping fighters immediately. So if she cannot stop the takedowns from Ronda, she's going to be lights out and probably in the first round. But I think Ronda Rousey is going to get taken down, and she needs to be put on her back and needs to get some ground and pound put on her to see if she actually can come back from that, because we've never seen her in a desperate situation where she's basically getting dominated and just beat down for one round, and she's never came back from adversity. So that's one thing I gotta say is. Then you have Daniel Cormier's debut at 205 versus Rashad Evans, which is 24-3-1, 29% by knockout, 13 by submission, and 42 by decision. And on the other hand, you got Daniel Cormier, which is undefeated fighter, with a 38% by knockout, 23% by submission, and 38 by decision. And you got both guys you got Daniel Cormier, which is an Olympic caliber wrestler, versus a NCAA All-American wrestler. And I think Rashad Evans just has the skill set. He has the more fights, and he's quicker and I think faster on the feet and more dynamic. I should say a 2-fight winning streak against Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen, and he did lose to John Jones, beat Phil Davis, and he lost to Antonio Nogueira. So my thing is, when I've seen Daniel Cormier fight, when he fought against Roy Nelson and he fought against Frank Mir, those were the only two fights that I actually seen of Daniel Cormier, and I was not very impressed. He basically held Frank Mir up against a cage and didn't do that much. So I'm not impressed with his actual overall fighting style, and he's not very impressive to me. I think Rashad Evans just has more dynamic, all over aspects of better game. He has great wrestling, great stand up, and he has knockout power in both his hands and in his feet. He's knocked out Chuck Liddell, and Daniel Cormier, as you can see, has beat a lot of top dudes. He's beaten Josh Barnett, Frank Mir. He's even beaten Roy Nelson, but really, I think Roy Nelson could have beat him if he would have done more than just stand up and try to bang with him. But in the end, I honestly think Rashad Evans just has a skill set. And I think Rashad Evans is just more motivated and more pumped to get back to a title shot. Yes, he's, 34 years old, 35, and he's been in the game a very long time, a lot longer than Daniel Cormier. So, with that being said, I just think Daniel Cormier is just going to lose this fight because it's going to be his first time at 205, and we don't know how he's actually going to act. Is he going to gas out from the massive weight cut? And yes, Rashad Evans has fought heavyweight, but he hasn't fought heavyweight in so long. Him fighting at 205 is where he's at. And he is a former light heavyweight champion. I think he's on the road to becoming a light heavyweight champion if he beat the likes of Phil Davis, and he did beat Chael Sonnen. That's telling you something. He is a beast. This is a very intriguing fight. Rory McDonald, which is 15-2, 40% by knockout, 40% by submission, and 20% by decision. And Rory McDonald versus Damian Maia. Damian Maia is 18-5, 17 by knockout, 50% by submission, and 33% by decision. I'll say this. Damian Maia, if he can out-grapple someone like John Fitch, which is a high-level wrestler, that is saying something. John Fitch is great, but he just dominated him. So, you have this dude is on a one-fight losing streak to Jake Shields. But before that, he beat 3 guys. So, he's 3-1 in his last 4 fights. And then when you go to Rory McDonald, he's beaten a lot of top dudes. He beat BJ Penn up, beat Jake Ellenberger, lost to Robbie Lawler, and he said he needed that loss to Robbie Lawler because it made him improve as a fighter. And Damian Maia is just a better grappler, I think, than Rory McDonald, but what Rory McDonald brings to the table is a more well-rounded game. He's very good on the stand-up with his jab and his punches. He really reminds you of George St. Pierre. If he can stick to his game plan and keep it standing, I think he will win. And I think this is going to be more of a boring fight. He's going to go jab, jab, punch, jab, jab, kick. He's going to do a game plan like that so he's not just grapple to the ground and submit it quickly, because that's what Damian Maia is probably looking for. With that being said, guys, UFC 170 looks to be a really good fight card. I think the 3 fights that I care about, the Sara McMann versus Ronda Rousey, the Daniel Cormier versus Rashad Evans, looks to be an intriguing fight, but I think Rory McDonald versus Damian Maia will be a good fight. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching another MMA Breakdown podcast, and let me know, what do you guys think? Do you think Rory McDonald is going to win? And do you think Sara McMann's Olympic caliber wrestling has the ability to beat Ronda Rousey's great submission? Because no one's been able to stop her. She's a beast. No one's stopping her with her 100% winning by armbar. She has Olympic caliber wrestling, so that is telling you the girl knows how to fight, and she's been training her ass off for a long time. But does she have more fights in MMA? No. She actually has less fights in MMA than Ronda Rousey. But Ronda Rousey, it's weird. 100% by submission. And it's the same submission, guys. It's not armbar, leg lock, triangle. It's just an armbar. And these women know it's coming, but can't stop her. Cannot stop her. And I just still think Daniel Cormier is not going to be the guy to beat John Jones. I think he's going to get submitted or beat down by Rashad Evans. I just think Rashad Evans is more hungry and just more of a dynamic fighter. He's very lightning quick, has heavy hands. He has good leg kick. Hopefully he uses his wrestling in this fight and uses his hands and kicks, because we don't want to see him just doing that dancing stuff and then throw like a jab. UFC 170, Saturday, February 22nd. So, with that being said, remember to rate, even if you hate, comment, and subscribe. and it's women's bantamweight title fight, Ronda Rousey versus Sara McMann, and they're basically both undefeated, and they're both Olympic caliber athletes. So let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Ronda Rousey is going to win by submission, or is the actual wrestling going to prevent her from getting Sara to the ground, because she's going to be able to stop the takedown and be able to nullify her game? So with that being said, if you look right here, they're almost identical, almost 100% identical in the reach, the height, everything. But with that being said, I will definitely talk to you guys soon. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that is just another video, the MMA Breakdown Podcast, whatever you want to call this thing. And I'm going to start doing them more frequently through Google Plus, so you guys can hear me live. And I'll open up next time the questions. If you guys want to start asking questions, what I think about this guy, and what do you guys think in the comment section below? Why did Alistair Overeem call out Brock Lesnar? I really want to know what you think he was doing by calling out Brock Lesnar. Oh, and I'll say one thing before MMA Breakdown Podcast. I posted on my MMA Underground Facebook page that it looks to be like Anderson Silva is already getting back in the gym and is actually starting to train. So maybe he will be back. Do I think he deserves a title shot right away? I think he deserves to fight somebody that is like a warm-up fight, that he could prove that he could whoop his ass and then get back to a title shot, because I still think he's in the top 10, still in the top 5, and I still think he's one of the best fighters to ever fight in MMA, and it's great to see Anderson Silva training his ass off to get back, and I don't want to see Anderson Silva doing the bob and weave and stuff anymore. I want to see him go out there like a killer, like he did against Rich Franklin, and fuck him up. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Anderson Silva that can fuck fools up. I don't want to see the Anderson Silva that dances around and doesn't finish fights. So with that being said, guys, I will definitely talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. See you guys in the next podcast.